Hello and welcome to this episode of Women in Mobility. Today we are going to meet a person who is an engineer by education and chose HR as her professional career. Here is Yoga Ram, who is currently Valeo's Region Compensation and Benefits Director, India and ASEAN. Yoga, welcome to Women in Mobility.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you for your time. You are an engineer by education, but you chose HR. What's the secret behind?
Okay. It's a very good question. And so when I completed my engineering in 2003, there were a lot of people who were looking for careers outside their expertise. So we didn't have a lot of companies coming to us for campus interviews, and there were not a lot of software companies available at that point of time. So we started exploring our interest, and for me, HR looked at as an attractive place for me to explore, because I always feel that I can connect with people better. So and there was a transformation which was going in HR per se. It was no longer a personal admin department, which used to be there in the manufacturing sites. The transformation was happening where they also saw HR as one of the contributor in software companies. So that's when I thought I could get into that space, because I have a technical background and I can understand the language of what the software companies speak. So that got into me as a HR consultant with Ford Technology Services India.
Okay.
So I started my career there. I was more into recruitment, and then I think that has become one of the a very competitive edge for me in terms of my educational background. Then I went ahead, pursued my master's in human resources. So that all happened at a later stage. Subsequently.
Okay. Yeah, I think from the personal department to human resources, that's a transformation that where you began your career. What were the initial days of your career?
Like any other person who wants to prove in their career, I think we all had the challenge of performing well in, or trying to get the buy-in from the management. So that was one of the challenge. But apart from that, when I started my career, there were a lot of it was more a male dominated situation, companies. To establish a professional rapport with the people, where to set the limits. So these were some of the challenges which I faced. But apart from that, I never have, I always feel that women and men are equal, and once given the right opportunity, they can go ahead and do wonders in their job. So I got the right opportunity, and I was able to get recognized in my career as well.
I think you joined an automotive major, immediately after graduation in the HR department. So, how has the engineering background helped you in identifying talent required for the automotive industry?
Okay. As I said, I started as a technical recruiter when I was with Ford. And then in 2010, when I joined Valeo, I was heading the R&D division. So that's when we started establishing the R&D division of Valeo. Okay. So I was one among the early employees of the company, of the R&D center. So my background has helped me to identify the technical engineers for the R&D division. So we were able to understand the business requirement in a much faster pace to attract the right candidate to the company. And then we ramped up, we started with around 100 employees. Today we are around 3,000 plus engineers working with us. So the background has helped us to understand the requirements in a much better way. And we are able to talk the business language, and we are able to contribute much better. So that's a part of it. Today in Valeo, if you see, after 10 years today, we are also talking about having a technical person as a recruiter in HR.
Okay.
But I was there
Even
even before. I have done the technical recruitments even before. So we understand what is the requirement for the company as well.
Okay.
So the technical background has always been very supportive for me.
Okay. It's something like no time to market, no squeeze the time to market.
Yes.
The same way it has helped you in squeezing the total the entire journey.
Yes. So a mechanical, if a manager wants to tell that I require an engineer, he doesn't need to explain me so much.
Okay.
We understand the nuances, we understand the basic requirements, technical requirements in a much faster pace. So that helps.
Fast food type. Okay. Tell me a little bit about your initial days of getting into the leadership role.
Okay. So, like everyone, we had, I think, as initially joined, we also evolve as a person, we evolve as a leader. So, every day, as I see my career in the last 20 days, every day has been a learning for me. So, I was fortunate to be among the participants of the Bulletproof training program, which is organized by Valeo. This is basically a senior leadership program. They are actually building leaders for the next decade. So I took up this program close to 10 years back. And it has helped me to shape my leadership skills. So there are a lot of components in the program which I have to do it on a real-time basis. The assessment happens on a real-time basis, which helps me to, which has groomed me to a better leader. But as you know, every day is a learning journey for us.
Yeah. You are a qualified bulletproof manager. What is it all about, and then how is it helping you in your career?
Okay. See, this particular program is basically around 18 months long program. Okay. You get assessed on your leadership skills to start with, and this assessment happens at a 360-degree feedback with your peers, with your managers, with your subordinates. So the assessment happens, a pre-assessment happens. Then you take up 12 modules.
Okay.
For 12 months. And for all the 12 modules, you will need to give a live case demo on how you have established, of how you understood the module and how you have practically demonstrated the behavior. For example, delegation is one of the modules. So how you have understood the module and what are the practical ways you have delegated. And that has to be vetted by all my stakeholders once again.
Okay.
So that's how each and every module is being done. So we have a 12 module session, and then at the end of the day, end of the program, we have one more assessment.
Okay.
So there is a minimum requirement in terms of assessment. So when you meet the minimum requirement, then you are certified as a bulletproof manager.
Okay. How is it helping in your career?
Of course, we have learned a lot of leadership skills through the It was very helpful for us as young managers. It was helpful, and as any learning program, if you see, it just gives you all the tools to go ahead and take up the challenges. So I see this program is like a toolkit for me to face the challenges of the corporate world.
Okay. Okay. How has this recruitment process evolved over a period of time?
Okay. If I take an automotive perspective. In 2010, when we started our journey, the car was more of a mechanical component. Today, if you see, it is not a mechanical component. It is more of a software and electronics. The amount of software and electronics which goes into the car has amazingly increased over a period of time. So when I had only mechanical engineers coming in, the requirement was different. Now I need to recruit software, I need to recruit electronics. Now we are also talking about people from gaming industry where I foresee recruiting for Valeo. So the entire spectrum of recruitment has changed over a period of time. And because the car as such as a product has transformed over the last decade. And with the transformation, there is always a lack of digital talent.
Okay.
Today, if you see, we are all fishing from the same pool. So there is the talent scarcity is always there.
Correct.
And how well you are able to market it as a company and how well you are able to attract is the key for us to get the talent and to retain them with the company.
Okay.
So that's where, as my role as a compensation and benefits director comes in. How competitive my compensation is.
Okay.
What new things I do in terms of benefits to retain the employees or to keep them happy over a period of time with the company. So we need to really go with the current situation, and that's how it is.
Is there anything that is especially required to attract talent, especially the millennials and the Gen Z?
Okay,
Women especially.
Correct. So being a millennial myself, I at least can understand the requirements of what the Zen as well as the millennials is looking forward for the company. So our policies, our mindset, or as a company, our the way we look at millennials have transformed over a period of time. So now millennials are looking for a lot of independence, autonomy in their jobs, and they are now, after the post-pandemic situation, they are looking for more hybrid working options. So the requirements keep changing over a period of time. So we cannot have one policy done and it cannot serve all the
those
people.
Days have gone.
Those days are gone. I have to keep updating myself. I have to keep updating for the young crowd. So in terms of returning, we have policy in terms of returning mothers. We have a very inclusive policy for women, where starting from sexual harassments, for a crèche facility for our employees. We have other in-house facilities which are available for women employees. We have been very inclusive, and with respect to my position, we look at what is the retention of women employees once they come into the organization, and what are the kind of mentoring programs we can offer to them, and then what is the promotion, how much promotion is happening for the women employees. So these are some of the parameters every company, as I see today, have to do in terms of attracting the women employees. And we also talk about pay gap index, that is how women is paid in proportionate to men. Are they paid better, are they paid less, and how can we improve the situation? So there are a lot of indicators which we have attached in order to see the real-time growth of women in Valeo.
Have you introduced any innovative process or methodologies in the HR? I think over a period of time we have been involved in this.
Correct. So it's a very good question, because for me, the real motivating factor for me to be in HR is that I get to try a lot of new initiatives in Valeo. So I've been given a complete autonomy in trying all these initiatives. So to start with, we are talking about digitalizing rewards recognitions right now. But I did it 2017, almost 5-6 years back. We digitalized the entire reward and recognition platform. And we also have an employee well-being and assistance program, which we launched in 2019, which really helped the employees during the pandemic situation. And then we have our own benefits portal, where we publicize about the benefits which has been provided to employees, because we are a little shy to talk about what we give it to employees. So we have designed a portal for ourselves, so where the employee logs in and he can understand what is it for him in terms of benefits with Valeo. So apart from that, we have been very progressive in benchmarking salary with respect to the market. So year on year, we do a very specific benchmarking process, and we also benchmark our benefit practices also with the market. So, and recently we are talking about chatbots in HR. So, and we are now deploying more of artificial intelligence into recruitment.
Artificial intelligence recruitment.
Yes. There is a limitation what human recruiters can do. And this artificial intelligence is only going to complement the person, the recruiter, in order to perform his activity in a much better way.
In speeding up the process?
In speeding up the process, obviously.
Oh, okay. Brilliant. Yeah. I think your position calls for travel and then longer working hours. How do you strike a balance between work and life?
For me, I always see work as a subset of my life. I don't see it as different. So, and as a person, I'm very passionate in whatever I do. And a little bit as a personality itself, I'm good in organizing things for myself. So I organize a little more, and then I plan for the day, and I have my not just a to-do list for my personal work and official work. So everything is a to-do, and then prioritize. But I think prioritization and being productive while working in the office or at home, anywhere. I think it's most important skill which we would need to learn and deploy. I think those small things or those small toolkits, if you know how to deploy them, it helps you to have a good work-life balance. And of course, I have a good support system. My family, my in-laws, they take care of my kids. So I think everything complements.
Okay. What's your advice for the young aspirants, especially women aspirants?
Okay. Any woman who is looking for a career, I would, when they go for an interview with a company, I would urge them to ask, what is the inclusive policy? What is companies' gender equity and inclusive policy? What have they done over a period of time? Let the company tell. This is what we have been doing. If the candidate finds it interesting, I think that's an opportunity for her to decide which company to opt for, because we are just like a plant. We need a good environment for ourselves to grow. So we might be a very good plant, but when the environment is not right, we cannot grow as good professionals. So just to ensure that you have the right environment, you're working with the right people with the right mindset, and what kind of importance the company, the leadership team gives for women, just not for women, any kind of even for people with disability. So what kind of opportunities are available? I think women employees, to be very strict, they have to open up and ask these questions, not shy about or shy away from asking such questions to the interviewers.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. I think Valeo has appointed even physically challenged people in the shop floor.
Yes.
What is the key driver to look at this as a opportunity?
Okay. Just to add on the fact that it is once again our inclusive policy. We wanted to be an inclusive employer, just not in terms of women, but in terms of people with disability also. So we partnered with an NGO where we identified women who can, or people with disability who can work on the shop floor. We made small tweaks in the shop floor to accommodate such employees. And just to add to the fact that our case was represented in United Nations as one of the case study from Valeo.
Wow. Valeo India?
Yes, Valeo India, and my managers represented this case in UN, Geneva. So we were one among very few people who demonstrated that people with disability can comfortably work in manufacturing setup.
Wow.
And we are also, and one of the initiatives which I also wanted to say is that we also deployed transgender in HR. We were the first company. So that kind of an autonomous decision making is being given to, at least to, I was very fortunate to take such decision, and I was able to convince the management on that. So we gave an opportunity to a transgender to come and work with us. Now she became more employable, and she has gone to a different company. But yes, now we know how to work with different peoples, different sections of peoples as well. Yeah. So
fantastic initiative. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What is your view on the new mobility? I think a lot of people talk about many things. Would you see these things will give more opportunity for women?
Yes, obviously, because as I said earlier, the mobility today is, as cars have transformed over a period of time, there is a lot of requirement for software and electronics engineers. Because as when you go to colleges, it's very difficult to get mechanical women graduates from college. But you get ample number of women who are currently studying software or electronics. So I think when as a car per se a product is having more of these components, there is a quite a lot of opportunity for us to attract women employees. That is where I see today our software services division, we have 33% of women. And we are also looking at increasing this percentage over the next couple of years. So, manufacturing, yes, there is an opportunity because these components will be much lighter in weight, so they can be easily handled, assembled. So we are also looking at as an opportunity for the manufacturing, but per se technical center, we are really looking at increasing the women employee count.
Okay, great. What's your hobby? How do you spend your spare time?
Okay, I'm an avid reader, and so I love reading books. I think, and I love being with my family, my kids, spending time with them, and I practice yoga regularly.
Yeah, as your name says, yoga. Great. Yoga, lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for participating in Women
Thank
in
you,
Mobility.
Murali.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice
Bye.
meeting you.
Same.